There, my name is Cheryl McGrath, and I am the State Director for the Washington Small Business Development Center here in Washington State, also known as the SBDC, in partnership with the Washington State Department of Agriculture, or AG, or Department of Ag. We are providing support for applicants to the Resilient Food System Infrastructure Grant Program. And today, myself and Keith Davis. Keith, would you please introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Keith Davis, and I'm the manager of our Market Intelligence Research Program within the Washington State SBDC. And I'm helping Cheryl learn a little bit more about the environmental side of today's grant application.
Very good. So I'm going to kick off with just asking a couple questions, Keith. And then I know that you've got a couple of forms that we're going to share on screen with our viewers. So to start out with, the National Environmental Policy Act, also known as NEPA, is oftentimes a part of federally funded projects, programs, and grants. Can you please explain to us if NEPA applies to the RFSI grant?
So NEPA does apply to this RFSI grant, and specifically the USDA requires that if there's any site preparation within a federally funded grant, such as this RFI, such as physical activities where you prepare a location for construction, then it has to follow that NEPA process. Activities may include demolition of existing structures, clearing vegetation and soil disturbance, grading, excavation, trenching. You can learn more from the EPA, or Environmental Protection Agency, through the USDA's RFSI grant. Additionally, the USDA has provided some additional grant and how it might apply to this RFSI application that we have today.
Okay, and I will continue to encourage folks, if you have further questions, to go to the FRSI website, the USDA, Washington State Department of Agriculture website with the RFSI grant information on it. There are many very, very helpful links. So Keith, you have a couple of forms that you're going to share with us. And I think the most impressive to me was that flow chart you found.
Yeah, so digging into the website that the Washington Department of Agriculture provided, this is part of the flow chart. So as we can see here, that as this grant is being determined, that there is a yes or no criteria. The first criteria is your project applicable to the program? If there is a determination of yes, then you will receive from the individual handling your application an environmental screening form. That environmental screening form will look like this, and this is also provided on their website. You can see that there's the name, the application number, physical address, and then a series of yes and no questions that you will be expected to fill out. And then at the end of that, you will return that to that loan officer, or grant officer. And then after that, that grant officer will help you fill out Form A. Form A looks like this, and this is for the loan officer to fill out. I should have reiterated in the beginning, so I'll iterate it now. You do not have to provide these forms with your initial application. This comes after that initial application process. So we're really just trying to help you get ahead of the bell curve a little bit and know what to expect with your application. And once again, the Form A is filled out by that grant officer that you have. Now, if we go back to our flow chart, after Form A, a smaller number of people may be required to fill out a form or help their grant officer fill out a Form B. And this is what Form B will look like. Once again, that's also on their website. And all that we're trying to do is help inform you on what that process will look like after the application or after you have submitted your application in regards to the NEPA.
Very good. Thanks, Keith. You know, there are different levels of NEPA compliance. And so again, I encourage people to really go to the Washington Department of Agriculture website and look up the RFSI, or Resilient Food System Infrastructure Program, because there's a ton of information there. And then also feel free to reach out to Department of Agriculture or the SBDC at washington@wsbdc.org. We are all here to help, and we want to assist any way that we can in guiding applicants to successfully completing and submitting their applications for this RFSI grant. So thanks so much for watching today and joining us, and don't hesitate to call.